Hello and welcome to this Junior's Gasoline Alley. Today, we're going to be checking out my new project car, a 2006 BMW 325 Xi. Now, this car I picked up for about $1,450, and I'm going to see just what it's going to take to get it going again. So in this video, I'll show you all the things that at least right now I know are wrong. There might be more, and tell you my plans to get it going again and get your thoughts on what it's going to take to make this worth owning. So let's check it out. Starting off looking at this car, it is a reasonably clean and good-looking version of a BMW E90 325 Xi. It's coming with some relatively brand new tires. These were done less than a year ago, and it shows. And overall, the body condition on the car is adequate. There's a couple of scratches, dings, and dents that won't affect whether or not this is a good running car. And it does start up and drive, but like any car for $1,450, you're going to expect it's going to have some problems. So as we go through on this side, you can see there is some body damage on the outside of the car. A little bit of dings there, but not too bad. Wheels and everything are in good shape. And up front, pay no attention to this because I've pulled a headlight out already, and that's one of the first problems that is definitely present on the outside. This had the adaptive xenon headlights inside, and as you can see on the driver's side, they're yellowed up, they're not looking great, and the one on the passenger side was stuck in a position, of course, leading to having an error light because following the wheel travel, it had been stuck headed to the right-hand side. And as you can see, that headlight, which I've pulled out, is stuck with the low beam heading off, looking to the right. And so there's something wrong inside, and we'll take care of that. Plus, you can tell the lenses are really just in bad shape. Luckily, I've got a brand new set of lenses in there to be used. So let's continue on to what else is going on with this car. Now, the battery and the key, non-functional, not really a big deal, no problem, because of course, we've got the manual key to get this thing unlocked. And that's when we can go into the inside and see that it's in all right shape, but the prior owner, well, didn't really care about keeping it clean. So there's quite a bit to be dealt with there. And when we pull into the back of the car, of course, some weather stripping pops out. Again, not in the most beautiful shape, as you can believe. And I'm told that this rear window, the regulator, is no good. I actually haven't used it yet, simply because, well, it's winter around here, and I don't want to be dealing with that. But if I pop into the trunk, see if we can get into this thing. There we go. The key into the trunk. That'll pop open. The struts are bad on the trunk, as well as, I should say, under the hood as well. It's got a brand new battery, although when I picked it up, it was having trouble getting started because the battery was fried. And if we take a look on the inside here, we can get to where the strut is. And this was one of the major reasons that I was able to get this car so cheap. Strut, totally broken. Luckily, that's not too hard to repair. Around on the driver's side, you can see more of that gunk. Of course, none of your cup holders open, just like you wouldn't expect on any E90, filled with junk on the inside. Yeah. So you might be asking yourself, does it start up and run? Luckily, good news is, well, not right now because the battery's dead. There is clearly something going on with that that I got to figure out. But it does run eventually, although it gets stuck on this screen. It doesn't go past here, and you can hear that ding. We're going to have to work on the CCC and doing a reflow of the solder to be able to get the infotainment screen to work. The rest of the inside does, it's fine. Sunroof works, all that good stuff. But let's check it out under the hood. Now, I'll bring up a screenshot of all the codes that are showing for the vehicle. And as you can see on that screenshot, we've got a passenger airbag issue. That's the seat mat sensor that measures whether or not the airbag should go off. And of course, on a $1,400 car, who really cares? We can code that out, make sure it goes off. It then has the lighting error, as you can see, for the adaptive headlights. Of course, we're going to get that fixed. And then the rest of it are all codes that are really being caused by an issue with the electrical system. Now, looking under the hood, of course, these hood struts don't hold up, so we'll have to get those fixed up too. But looking under the hood, you can see pretty solid oil leak. Of course, right in front where N52s always leak. And that's, of course, causing some problems because you can also see it's leaking some oil onto our alternator. Might be part of the electrical issue. And then the other piece to mention is through this oil filter housing, you do have coolant and oil run through. And it really makes me think that we should get that fixed so that we're not mixing too much oil with the coolant system. And of course, over on the power steering, oil all over the place. This is pretty common. And if we look down in, I don't think there's actually an issue with the power steering system. It just appears that because we've got this issue here for the seal on the cap, like many of these cars do, it's looking like it's leaking. So we got to get all of those things solved. We've got to get that rear shock solved. And I'm told that a shop took a look at this and it needed to have the front drive shaft replaced of the four-wheel drive system, which appears to be working properly, but there's supposedly some noise. I haven't registered this or driven it enough to be able to know if that's true, but that's part of the problem. And so you might be asking yourself, what is the point of picking up a car like that, even at $1,400? Well, hopefully I'll be able to get that car repaired, get it going for not that much, be able to enjoy it a little bit, and turn a profit. At least that's the goal. Now, to do so, I've got myself some parts. Of course, got some shocks for both the trunk and the hood. And those are going to be a nice thing to have because obviously it's going to make it work out easier to work on and, well, even just sell. But then I also have in place new shock absorbers for the rear end. These are from a company, A1 Premium. I kind of doubt they're all that premium because a pair of these were only $60 on Amazon. Pretty cheap if you ask me. But we've got that. We've got new shock mounts, of course, for the rear shocks of the car. And those headlight covers, as I've shown before. And we're going to diagnose when we pull this puppy apart to find out what is wrong with them. So I'm guessing a drive shaft for this car runs somewhere in the range of about $225, $300 to get that front drive shaft. Our headlight covers were about $70 for the pair. Of course, there's going to be some things necessary once I find out what's wrong. The shock, $60. Those struts, about $50 altogether. And the car's going to need a real detail, a real cleaning, and whatever else comes up. But my hope is this $1,450 car turns into being, say, a $3,000 car, cleaned up, ready to go. And these things are transacting somewhere in the $4,500 to $5,000 range with as low a miles as this has. This is only 140,000 miles, which albeit is not low miles, but for $4,000, $5,000, this could be a really cool car for somebody. Hopefully we'll get that infotainment system all working up and it's going to be perfect. Please follow along on the channel if this is something you're into. I'm hoping to get this taken care of. And if you have any tips, thoughts, or things I should pay attention to, go ahead and leave those down in the comments below and we'll get working on it.